Hi, welcome back to Centre Equestre La Luce and Live and Breathe Horses, to the straw shed. So we're going on with our Words of Wisdom series, from an old master trainer to a young trainer, which is volume 2 of the Classical Principles of the Art of Training Horses with Maestro Nuno Oliveira. So today we're on chapter 4, I think. And the rider who must know how to use the weight of his body. The rider who has some tact, who's sitting correctly and well down in his saddle, must feel in his spinal column everything happening in the back or the legs of the horse. So sitting straight, he can sit more on one side to lighten or overload this or that part of the horse's body. He can press on one stirrup or the other, either leaning on one buttock or the other. Stiffen one hip to increase the pressure of that seat bone more than the other, or put either shoulder forward or backwards. So lots of little variations how we can change the weight. I mean, it's a very tricky thing to teach these weight aids because people tend to maybe not have enough awareness in their own body to pull that off, and then end up like leaning over and really disturbing the horse, you know. And especially if you're a tall person, then you know a tiny little movement up here at your shoulder is going to have a big counter effect down on the horse. So it's a very important point to be aware of. So yeah, in some cases he can lighten the horse's hindquarters, incline himself a little forward, or to lighten the horse's shoulders by inclining himself a little backwards. Each of these actions are different, and here it is the feeling and the rider's ultra rapid reflexes which allows that you give the right aid at the precise moment. I love it, always comes back to that timing. It's so important. We can never pay enough attention to that. Training a horse is above all feeling and trying according to what you feel to help the horse and not to force him. I have at the moment among my young horses a young one who's beginning to piaffe. His piaffe becomes very high and very suspended on his diagonals. Well then, a little time ago, I had leaned myself very lightly forward because I felt his hindquarters could not yet support the weight. He took the habit to give a very good movement of his hind legs, and I straightened up progressively. I love that paragraph. Oh yes, we'll get there one day. Do not believe that during a horse's training you might not change your position a little to help him. And I think this we sometimes quite often naturally do with young horses, you know. I mean, for example, if you were going to gallop up a hill, you would naturally take your weight lighter and more forward to help your horse. So yeah, up to a point it is intuitive. I think that we allow ourselves to go with the feel and not get too caught up in what we think we should be doing. That's often the point with that. As he becomes more regular and easy, then the rider can sit very steady but with a relaxed waist. So that's like the shock absorber, isn't it, between the horse and the body. So it's the waist can be relaxed. So from the waist down we move with the horse, but from the waist up we stay still and centred. You know that movement from the horse doesn't go through the whole body, which is a crucial point to our horse. You must also, sitting straight, be able to sit heavier by relaxing the buttock and having your bottom more open on the saddle. Or when you sit lighter, then you sit with a more closed bottom. You must understand the feeling the horse gives you, which makes you choose how to sit and when. The theory people only worry about one system. The rider who feels and knows what he has to do by practicing He has the habit to feel and react quickly. The horse is a living person with natural reflexes more rapid than man's reflexes. So all the life of a rider, he should attempt to react according to his feelings about his horse as quickly as his horse. So that's the point, again, that we can never hear enough, that comes up again and again and again. And I think it's very much about training ourselves in all aspects of life to be more aware and notice our horse. You know, I'm just looking at my horses out in the field here. So even then, you know, just watching and observing your horse and noticing all the little movements that you might miss when you're too busy. And even trying to anticipate that you can see when he's going to move, when he's relaxed, when he's tense, when something's going on. So anyway, thank you for being here with me today. I look forward to see you next time, and keep tuning into the light.